Illuminations, and we are here today for our webinar on tapping into the power of your own mind for positivity, for productivity, for creativity, and for basically taking charge of your own mind. So I'm just going to give it another moment. If you have any questions on this topic, please feel free to put it on the chat box. I plan to go over this webinar today with a lot of information that I can kind of squeeze in the time that we have about the power of your mind. And we will do a creative visualization exercise. And I will also share with you some simple exercises you can do at home to kind of be in touch and to actually take charge of your thoughts, your mind, and how you can manifest things in your life the way you want it. So that's going to be pretty much the agenda for today. Any questions, anything you would typically want to answers to, feel free to share that here as well. And we will just be starting in a moment. Okay, yeah, that's better. Somehow I still always get some error on this Zoom. So, okay, now I have my chat on and I can see some of you and we can begin. So again, some familiar names. Thank you so much for coming back and for joining again, and some new names I see. So big welcome to you, whoever has chosen to join us today for this particular seminar. Okay, let's begin. Okay, so I want you to just kind of read this. I'm sharing some slides today because the topic is such that it would just help with you absorbing more and creating a different experience, right? So your mind, and we keep saying the mind so many times, we're gonna get a little bit more in-depth understanding of what this mind really is. Is it the brain, which it is not? How we can tap into this tremendous power we have within us so that we can manifest whatever we want in our life, so that we can create whatever we want in our life, and most importantly, let go of so much that we perhaps are holding on to that is coming in the way of our own growth and evolution, right? So the mind is a powerful force that can enslave us or empower us. It can plunge us into the depths of misery, or it can take us to the heights of ecstasy.
Start cleaning.
Just gonna mute everyone. Give me a second. Okay, thanks. Okay, so so basically this is just sharing with you a quote about how powerful the mind is and what all we have in our capacity to achieve if we can, I wouldn't say train, but if we can take charge of the mind, if we can be on the driving seat of our life, and the mind can then do as is best for us and as we would like it to be, right? So okay, for those who have just joined in new right now, I can see some new names. Just sharing once again that today's topic about power of the mind, how we're going to go about it is I'm going to share some very interesting information, some research and experiments, and then we're going to do a creative visualization towards the end of the webinar. And also I'll be sharing with you some exercises that you can do once you go back and stuff like that. So in life, we are always on a quest for happiness, right? Whatever we want to do, whatever we want to achieve in life, it's always because somewhere we believe that it will make us happy or it will make us more happy, right? So there is always this quest of, even whether we give, whether we aim for something, whether we are ambitious, it's somewhere deep rooted in this quest for making us happy in life, right? Now, there is research which tells us that happier people are about 12% more productive as well. So whatever we may be doing, whether we are working at home, whether we are working, in our organizations, whether we are working with children, whether our children are happy or not, and what is their productivity for just simple activities in life or daily routines in life, it is all interlinked. So it is so important for those of you who are even parents here of young children or older children, teenagers or even older, to just somewhere understand the responsibility of the mind and how we can work with it, right? For every aspect of life. What if, and we always think that we will find happiness with effort, or we will find happiness with a lot of time, or you have to do a whole lot of things to get that happiness. What if finding it is actually super simple? And whether it really lies outside of us, or whether it is something which we hold inside of us but we are not looking that way. Okay, and as you understand more about the mind, you will understand why I say this, and I'm going to come to that shortly. Why it can be really easy for us is because our outer world, everything that where we look for happiness, be it that promotion, be it that new assignment, be it that new job, that contract, that success, that abundance, whatever it is that we believe will give us that happiness, that next holiday, right, which so many of us are looking forward to right now, just get on that plane and go somewhere, right? We feel that when we do that, it's going to give us happiness. But actually, if we were to look inside, the same happiness can be created by doing certain things, thinking certain ways, getting rid of certain beliefs which are like weeds in your mind, and you will be able to find that same kind of happiness without that changing goalpost. Because when we put our happiness onto something outside of us, it is always a changing goalpost. We believe that that promotion will give us happiness, but when we get that promotion, we want something else. We believe having that baby or having that marriage or that partner will give us happiness, but then as we get that, it keeps moving. So what can we do so that we maintain this ownness, this feeling, this charge within us in our own space, right? Let's understand what is this mind. I've been saying mind now, as well as in the previous webinars. What exactly is this mind? And if we were together in like a class setting right now, I would first ask you to share with me what you think the mind is, right? But because that is not an option right now, I'm going to straight away go and tell you what we understand the mind as, right? So the mind is a ball of energy, the center of which is in the pit of your stomach. Okay, and I will repeat that again. The mind is a ball of energy, the center of which is in the pit of your stomach. And that is why we get that the whole thing of the gut feeling. Because if you look at the gut, it is primarily meant to digest your food, right? So where is this primal gut feeling coming from? It is from this mind, which is a ball of energy, which emanates into the center of your stomach. Okay. Now, the mind uses various components. It uses your thoughts, your emotions, your energy, your physical body. And all of these play a role in how the mind is functioning. What is the balance of the mind? What is the health of the mind, right? So whatever thoughts you are having, and I've shared this before, but some people are, of course, new here, and I would like to go over this again. Every thought, so everything in this universe begins with a thought, and every thought carries a certain vibration. And thoughts over a period, and thoughts generate emotion. So whenever you have a thought, it will instantly bring an image into your mind space. Okay, and think about it now. I say cake, you will instantly think of a cake, you will visualize a cake. I say dog, same thing. Now, depending on your filters about these things that I mentioned, you will also have certain emotions. So if a dog is someone you really love, instantly you will feel that lovable feeling inside. If a dog is someone who bit you recently, then instantly you will feel, oh my God, I'm scared, right? So every thought will pop an image into your mind, and every thought will generate a certain emotion. Now, these emotions are constantly fluctuating our energy, and we are energetic beings, right? So this energy, depending on what vibration, what frequency it is, it will then start to influence the unfolding of experiences in our physical reality, and at the same time affect our physical body. And those who probably attended the the wellness and the cellular healing webinars recently in the last week would know how important the vibrations are for our cellular healing, for our immunity, for our health. So the physical body is not independent of these thoughts, emotions, energy, which kind of work together. So it's all co-creating everything that's happening in our mind. And this mind is then, like the master out here. So we have these components that we can actually work with, which we can interpret to know what is the health of our mind, so to speak, if I can say, right? So your thought is an indicator, your emotion is an indicator, your energy is an indicator, and how your body is talking to you, what signals it's giving to you, whether it's in pain, whether it's feel fit and healthy, whether you are suffering from migraines, whether you are constantly having certain aches and pains in joints and muscles. These are not coincidences. This is not age related. It is simply what is the health of your mind, and that health is determined by what are the quality of thoughts, what are the limiting beliefs, which are like weeds. Okay, where am I focusing my energy? And now is our opportunity to very, very consciously shift where our energy is flowing, because wherever your attention goes, energy will flow there. If you are focusing on something negative, if you are focusing on ill health, if you are focusing on fear, you will get signals, experiences which correlate to that fear of yours. Okay, the more you focus on the negative, the more you will experience it in your environment, in your content, in your WhatsApp, on your social feed, on news, whatever it is that you will connect to. Okay, you will always be in tune with what's going on. So it's really important to kind of shift that so that it works for you, right? Okay, so I'm going to share this diagram with you, and I'm not going to go into detail because this diagram itself can take us hours, but I'm going to tell you very, very simply speaking why our mind is so much in control. Right now, the mind, like I said, is a ball of energy. It has this spherical feel to it. 12% of your mind is your conscious mind. Now, conscious mind, guys, is our ability to think what we are doing, what we are saying, when we logic, when we judge, when we decide, when we act, all of that is happening by that 10 to 12%, which is your conscious mind, just that much part. And the balance, 88 to 90%, is actually your subconscious mind. Now, if you look at it, all the activities that we do through the day are thinking, logicking, feeling, making decisions, acting, and only 10 to 12% is actually in charge of all of that. So what is this balance, 88 to 90%? And what is this balance, 88 to 90%, is what we understand as the subconscious mind. And this is like a database. Every single file of our life from the time that we are born is being stored here in different, folders. Okay. Now, to make it really, really simple, everything that is unknown to us in life, okay, and that could be even negative associations, until and unless there is threat to life, the subconscious mind will store every single file as a known or a positive association. Okay, and that is why certain habits which are probably harmful to us, which we know consciously, are still very hard to break. It is very tough to break patterns, perhaps all the way from childhood or even through our teenage years, or even newer patterns which we develop in moments of stress and things like that. Why? Because the subconscious considers it as known. The role of the subconscious mind is to help us survive. Okay? It will do anything to help us survive. And the subconscious is 9 times bigger and 6,000 times more powerful than your conscious mind. And so this will help you to understand why even when you consciously want to change certain things, you cannot. You say, okay, from tomorrow I'm going to go to the gym 8 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, I'll go for a run, 5 o'clock in the morning, I will not eat oily, I will not eat sweets. And you are so firm in your conscious mind, you've logicked it, you've analyzed it, you've seen the diet, you've gone through websites, you have all the information, everything, right? But somehow in the morning, when you want to get up and go for that run, right? Or you want to eat something which is healthy instead of that fried food or your daily food that you eat, there is this inertia which will not let you do it. Where is that coming from? That is coming from the fact that what you've been doing over a period of time is now a huge number of files in the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind will always gravitate towards what it knows, right? So that's just a very brief understanding, but I wanted to share it because it helps a lot of us to understand why we struggle, and we have to stop judging ourselves when that happens. The idea is, it's not like I'm lazy or, I don't have willpower to kind of overcome my negative patterns. It is because fundamentally there is this pull, there is this strength of the subconscious mind which is coming in the way of you experiencing or creating something new. And that is why when I work with clients or when we do hypnotherapy, which works fantastically with your subconscious mind, we always say that, we work with the subconscious mind, we help you. We cannot erase anything in the subconscious mind. Nothing can ever be erased. No file can ever be erased. So even people who have gone through abuse or things like that, those files are never deleted. But what happens is we reframe a new experience over those old files, so that now when the conscious mind creates a new decision, the subconscious mind checks with this new file which is there, which is reframed, which is not a trigger, and then says, okay, this is safe for me. And then you get that whole power of your mind working together for you, the right kind of thoughts, the right kind of emotions, energy, and then you go for it, right? And that is why whenever we do something habitually over a period of time, it gets more easier to adopt. We let it go and then it kind of dips. Okay, so just a very brief understanding why the conscious mind and why the subconscious mind. We can spend hours on this, right? But that's for another day. If you have any questions specifically on the subconscious mind, feel free to post it in the chat box, either personally or to everyone, and I can definitely answer it after it, or perhaps send you a message on it, right? Okay, so now I always like to create a flow wherein you can take back something and do it yourself as well, because that's the whole idea. It's easy to just listen and then forget about it. So what is, if we want to take charge of our mind and our patterns and our experiences in life, what's the first step that we need to take, right? The first step that we need to take is finding clarity. Now, what do I mean by finding clarity? By finding clarity, I mean is you need to understand what's really going on inside your mind right now. Sorry, just a minute. Something happened here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So how do we find that clarity? We find that clarity by knowing what is our mind creating for me right now. So what's going on in my life right now? And let's pick up some very key areas of your life, right? Let's pick up some simple areas like your health, like your career, your purpose, your relationship, your money, your success, your health, well-being. So these are primarily, what it is, where our mind usually goes. So if you have a notebook and pen, just make these divisions and just think, what are your thoughts about these areas of your life? Okay, what is your general belief about these areas of life? What do you think when you think of your relationships? What do you think about your career? Because we all have these dominant thoughts, okay? One day we can be inspired, one day we can be not so inspired, but we have a dominant thought that, oh, struggle is hard for me. And I did share some limiting beliefs that I worked with a lot of my clients on one-on-one sessions. I will share that, yeah. So this is not that you have these, but it's just nice to have a look at it to understand what kind of limiting thoughts, what kind of limiting beliefs can be in the mind which could be taking away your power, yeah. these are the ones which I have personally worked with a couple of my clients, so I'm sharing it here. Money doesn't grow on trees. I'm not lucky enough. Love doesn't come easy to me. Marriage is a big responsibility. And these can be very, very subconscious, very, very unknown. You may not even realize you're saying that. You may be sitting and so many, so like a client can come saying, I am looking for a partner in my life. I am just unable to find a healthy relationship. And then as we work with them through hypnotherapy, through cognitive therapy, we realize, and the client realizes, that yes, unknowingly, she or he may be holding on to certain beliefs like, oh my God, I saw my parents fight so much in their marriage. Marriage is just not for me. And that is a limiting belief inside which has a vibration. So on the face of it, I may be doing everything possible. I may be on dating sites. I may be trying to meet people. I may be, just trying to find a partner and be open to it consciously, 10 to 12%. But that balance, 88%, is that strong belief which says marriage means disappointment, or marriage means, not having my freedom, or whatever it may be. Same for so many other different areas of your life. Okay, think where it is that you are, having some kind of struggle or roadblock, and work on those beliefs. Those beliefs are very important for you to be able to know what they are if we want to overcome them. Okay, so step 1 was finding clarity. What are your limiting beliefs? Step 2, now that we know, okay, this is what I want to work on, I want to change something, focus on your desires and release all sort of resistance. Okay? This means we need to now set very, very clear signals, clear messages to the mind as well as to that energetic field around us on what it is that we want in our life. I am not settling for second best. I am not settling for failure. I am not settling for not being good enough, for not being abundant, for not being secure. Whatever it is that you want to shift in your space, you need to get that out of the way by weeding out those limiting beliefs. Next step is you make a list of your desires now. Okay, so and you focus on at least one to start with, and I will not say that suddenly strain yourself with everything, because then what happens, it gets diluted and then you don't keep up with it unless you really have very strong willpower. So let's not go that route. Let's pick up that one thing that you choose to work on right away. Okay, and then focus on this list very well, focus it, understand, and then choose that one thing, highlight it. Okay, then use another sheet of paper and you make a list of why you feel your desire cannot come true or your goal cannot be met. Okay, so 2 lists you have to make, 2 different sheets of paper. Don't put it on the same paper. So you need to make these 2 lists to understand what are these things. One, what are your desires and what you are going to focus on within that in the short term to test this out, right? Okay. Now what we are going to do is the sheet in which you have mentioned your desires, we are going to kind of energize this sheet with powerful thoughts, with affirmations. We're going to give it the right kind of emotion. We're going to give it the right kind of energy. We're going to meditate with it. A whole lot of things we'll do with it. And the second sheet which I talked about is your resistance. So that sheet we're going to kind of tear and we're going to flush it down, or we're going to burn it. Okay, in a safe environment, right? So these are the 2 things you start with. Okay, so we understand that we will write in these 2 sheets. We will work with one sheet and we will tear and flush or tear and burn this other sheet along. Why will we do that? Because focus and consistency will give you the success, and the entire game plan of it I will share with you right now. Okay, because your mind has the power to shift anything in your space, absolutely anything. But the only deal is that you need to not have a split energy in it. So if I say, yes, I can do it, but there's that little voice at the back which says, yeah, you can, but maybe not, you are diluting it. Okay, so you have to be so firm in your decision. You have to be so into that decision that nothing can waver your focus from it. And then with consistency, it has to give you the results that you're looking for. I wanted to share with you one very interesting experiment which was conducted by Dr. Emoto. Actually, two of his experiments I thought I'll share with you, because when we get to know about these things, it just kind of strengthens our belief in the work behind what we do, right? So Dr. Emoto was this Japanese scientist, and he worked with a whole lot of experiments to understand the memory water has. Now, we as human beings also have a huge amount of water in our bodies, right? I mean, 80% of our, 70-80% of our body is or more is of water, right? Now, the kind of thoughts, intentions, and emotions that we carry is changing, reshaping us and our vibration in that particular way. So I'll share the experiment. What he did was, he took these 3 samples of water from the same source, okay? So he took this 3 samples of water from the same source, and he decided to work with this and generate certain emotions with this water, okay? So on one sample of the water, there was this constant intention of love being given, okay? So same environment, same source, same container, everything is same here, okay? One is being given this emotion, this intention of love. So he would keep talking to this particular storage of water saying, I love you. For the other, it would be gratitude. And for the third, he would keep saying, I hate you, okay? And think of this experiment within our own being as our inner voice or our expressive voice, which talks to ourselves and keeps saying things. You will never get it, or I'm just so silly, or I'm so great. What is it that you are constantly talking? It makes a huge difference. Then all of this water was kind of frozen and then put under the microscopes to understand how this water, what is the structural changes to the same water, same source, kept in the same way. Only thing different was the emotion and intention which was sent to this water. So the one which, and you see the images here, the one which was, communicated with a lot of love has this beautiful structure. The one with gratitude again has this beautiful structure. The one with I hate you has kind of gone into this compressed mode where it has not able to, to spread its wings, so to speak. Okay. So power of intention is so important. What emotions you actually spread out, the emotions that you give to your own mind. If you have people in your home, people in your team, what you say to them, whatever it is that the output you're looking for. If you are not using the right words, right emotions, the productivity, the creativity, the output is going to be absolutely opposite of it. So that is one thing which I did want to share with you. The other experiment, again, of course, there are many experiments, but I wanted to share these two because most relatable. The other one he did was with rice again, okay? So they had taken these again, same sample of rice from the same place, put them in 3 jars, and every day a certain thought was given. And in both these experiments, he did this for a continual period of time, right? So it's not like I do it today and tomorrow it's, we'll get the result. So again, minimum 21 days, you got to do this. And so many of my clients have actually performed this experiment and they had some interesting results as well. Okay, so the rice which every day he spoke to and said, you're an idiot, okay, it kind of, it got exposed to fungus and it got all mucky and things. Then there was one which said, thank you. Again, gratitude has immense energy. It has very beautiful power. So even in our limitations, if we can shift and flip our energy to gratitude, I am thankful for this experience, for what it will help me tomorrow. I am thankful for the learnings, even if they were nasty. I am thankful that I have got these learnings so that tomorrow I can shift things for me. The attitude of gratitude can really, really shift a whole lot of stuff in your energetic field, right? So it's all about how we tune it. And the third one, very interestingly, was ignored. So imagine he would come to the two jars and talk about one being an idiot, one I'm very grateful to you and everything. And the third one he would just ignore, like not even look at it. You're not important enough for me to even communicate with you. And both these, the ignored one and you're an idiot, kind of completely got very mucky and it had fungus and things like that. And the one which was thank you was absolutely fine in that period of time. It actually had, apparently, when you read the research, it did have a fragrant smell to it. How does this happen? Same source, same environment, kept in the same place, same kind of sunlight, everything is same. But what is being communicated to each one and directed to each one. And this is so true in our lives. And so therefore, it is so important to take charge of our mind yet again. Okay? Now, because human thoughts and intentions can alter physical reality like we just saw, what do we do next? We make sure that we, okay, I didn't want it to come like this, but it has, that's okay. Okay, so what do? We now align ourselves. We figured out our desires, we figured out our goals, we figured out what the resistance is, we've got it out of the way. Now we will work with one of the laws of suggestibility, which is the law of repetition. Okay, what does the law of repetition say? The law of repetition says that the more we do something, the better we get at it. Okay, and that's exactly what we want to do to train our mind completely. We keep repeating. Whenever we start anything new, say this activity, say driving, say cycling, say anything that you have worked with yourself, right? We start from a place of unconscious incompetence. What does this mean? This means that I am unconscious about my incompetency in doing this. I don't even know whether I can do it, I cannot do it, how well I can do it, what it is. I'm unconscious about it. It does not matter. Then when I decide I want to do something, I reach a space called conscious incompetency, which means that now I know that I want to shift this, I want to get better at this, I want to attain this skill, whatever it may be. So now I am conscious about it. Now when I start doing the things, even think of it as, you know, when you just learned how to drive perhaps. When you learn how to drive, that's exactly what happens. Before you knew how to drive, it didn't matter. Then you realized you want to drive, so you took classes or lessons, and you did those lessons with great dedication because you wanted your license. So that was conscious incompetency, which then you move into conscious competency when you go for your exam. Absolutely any exercise, right? You go for your driving test. Now you are consciously aware that you are competent in this particular area. Now, when we get this conscious competency and we keep repeating it, we move into what we understand as unconscious competence, which means now when you just learned how to drive, you would sit in the car, you would adjust the seat, you would adjust the mirror, you would wear that seat belt, you would be very, very focused. You may not even put on the music that time because you are very conscious about what you are doing, and that competency is new, so you are focusing all the more on it. Over a period of time, you've been driving for a year, 2 years, you could be on your phone, walking into the car, putting it in its socket, moving on to Bluetooth, wearing your seatbelt while talking. It's all unconscious driving and taking off, right? And this happens to us in every area of life. That is why the more we repeat a certain activity, the more we stick to our consistency of how we want to train our mind, how we want it to work for us, it will start to change for us. Okay, so we want to go all the way from unconscious incompetence to unconscious competence. Okay, what are the things that we can do? This is step 4 now. You have daily practice tools that you can work with. So affirmations is one. Now whatever you wrote in your sheet that you want to work with, go ahead and think of what can be positive, present, simple affirmations that you can create for yourself. Okay, it can be just something really simple. I am in great physical health. My body is vibrating with health and well-being. If it's to do with abundance, I am abundant and financially secure. If it's about relationships, all my relationships, or my relationship with this person, if you have a specific issue with someone, my relationship with this person is very conducive, healthy, well, whatever. See what words resonate with you. Pick up whatever you're working on, create a wonderful affirmation for yourself. If you already have something in mind and would like to, check if that works, feel free to message it on the chat group, and I'll be happy to share my feedback with you at the end of this. Second, must incorporate, if you don't already have the habit, of a gratitude journal. Express your gratitude in advance for what it is that you feel you want by expressing gratitude and sharing into the universe and confusing the mind that you already have it. Okay, I am so thankful for this new job opportunity that I got. I am loving sitting in my new organization. I am enjoying the work that I am doing here. Just write letters to yourself, gratitude letters of what it is, but not like when I get it, as though you've already got it and you are now thanking for it. Okay, this will create new vibrations, a new sense of known in the subconscious mind the more you do it over and over. And so whatever remaining resistance is there, it can be like weeded off from there. Okay, so gratitude journals, very, very important. Just go ahead and put everything in it. Like, I am so excited to feel this, experience it, the new abundance in my home, the new whatever. It's your call, what it is that you're working with. This relationship is so beautiful. We are in synchronicity, so much alignment. I understand, he understands, she understands. Just go into the depths of it, and that's what will really, really help, because the emotion has to come out. It's not just words, it's the emotion that has to come out. Okay, then do a whole lot of positive listings about this thing. What do I mean by positive listing? Whenever we want something, we also have some amount of either duality or negative limitations or feelings or thoughts about what the downside of it can be. Okay, so we want to kind of completely remove our attention from that. So you do positive aspects of this particular thing that you want, why it's so good for you, how it's so good. And even if you don't write it every day, if you've written it 1, 2, 3 days, keep reading it, keep reading it, keep reminding yourself. It could be on your phone as well. So it just constantly pops up in front of you. I like to even stick it inside my cupboards, in the bathroom. Wherever you have the opportunity to see it, it will remind you and it will go into that frame of mind. Okay, then you must have a morning ritual, a sleeping ritual, and I've talked about these rituals in my previous webinars as well. In the morning when you wake up, you must ground yourself, you must set an intention for the day, because if you don't set an intention for the day, you are just allowing your energy to scatter, and your energy is super precious. You need to direct it. So, whatever we may be organizing, if I'm organizing the home, the kids, I need to let them know what they need to do. If I'm at work and I have a team, I need to let my team members know what they have to do. Because if I do not let them know what they have to do, they will do as they please, because everyone has a mind of their own. Everyone has a vibration of their own. But if I want all of my resources to work for me, focused on what I want to receive right now, then I need to let them know. So when you wake up in the morning, it's always a great idea to just root yourself, perhaps by just, connecting with the earth energy. If you have a patio garden, you can go out and do it. If not, even from your own house, apartment, whatever it may be, just tap your feet on the ground a little bit, connect with the earth energy, ask all your energy to integrate and return back to you. And in that time, let your energy know your affirmation, your intention for today, how you want to feel, what you want to do, what is for your highest best. Go ahead and communicate it to them. Okay, it's really very important. Sleeping ritual, what I usually like to share with my clients is that when we sleep, we must kind of cleanse all the baggage of the day. So even if it's a 1-minute visualization of just all certain, in the day we could have some tense moments, some stress, some arguments, we could have triggers. Just simply saying, I release the baggage of the day that no longer serves me. That itself does beautifully well. Okay, if you've had something intense with someone, I forgive for my peace and happiness. Even if that person has done wrong to you, but if you are holding it, you are using your energy, which could be utilized for something that you want, into this which is not of significance to you, right? So when we forgive, we don't forgive so that the other person is off the charts. We forgive so that we do not utilize our resources into areas which are already not conducive for us. Okay, so that's the sleeping ritual. Just kind of cleanse yourself. And if those of you who actually have a shower before sleeping, you could combine it. So as the water cleanses my body, the vibration of this water purifies my thoughts, releases what doesn't work for me, etc., etc. You can make it as interesting as possible for your list. And wish list is again kind of same. What you add to it is completely your call. Extra things that we wrote in the first list, you can just add more of how to add on to your thing. Keep putting together what you want. Don't just let it be scattered. When it's scattered, it feels like an agenda, it feels like a task. When you put it together in a space, even when we do online shopping on regular websites, you always have a wish list. It's easier when you go back next time, even if you were not thinking about it, you can get it done and not pay for delivery perhaps, right? So same way, create this space for you so that everything comes more seamlessly. And whatever you do it at least for 21 days. My sincere request to you, if you really want it to work for you, 21 days. Even your affirmations, if you have the opportunity, try and either say it loud in front of the mirror, or you can even write it if you want to, because writing is a subconscious activity. When you write, it directly goes into your subconscious mind. Okay, so you can write it. Even if you want to just like lie down in bed and say it mentally, that's cool too. You can do that as well. But say each affirmation for minimum 21 times. So if I'm starting right now, I will say the same thing. I am healthy and well in my body and mind. I am healthy and well in my body and mind. I am healthy and well in my body and mind. 21 times. Okay. And for 21 days. So that really, really helps as well. Okay, let me see if I missed anything before I start off with the next, with our, our visualization that I mentioned I will be doing towards the end. Let me just see how much time we have. Perfect, we have about 15 minutes for it. Okay, yeah. One last thing which I missed on mentioning is, along with the other exercises, is if you can create like a visual board for yourself. That really helps. If you can cut pictures, or you can just put some quotes, put your affirmation, put photographs of places you want to visit, do whatever, whether it's digitally, whether you can actually sit and do it like a craft, and put it in a place where your eyes go every time, you give it positive energy every time. It really helps to kind of train your vibrations, your mind into achieving that for you. Okay, any questions on what I shared with you guys right now? I have some questions. Let me have a look. Komal has sent something. Why do you have from within even though we try? Komal, exactly what I mentioned. Why you have continuous resistance is because whatever you want to try is perhaps an unknown for the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind is like a very simple dude, right? Whatever it has experienced, it considers that to be the known, and it considers that to be positive, unless it is a threat to your survival. Only then it will consider it to be a negative. So if you are constantly trying to do something and you face resistance from within to do it, it's because your subconscious mind, with that so much extra power and energy, is pulling you back into those known patterns. Okay, so many ways to work with it. You could consider hypnosis, self-hypnosis. We teach that as well. You could do these exercises that I've shared with you. Key is consistency. You have to do it for a certain time. We must talk to the rice to experiment. Yes, if you would like to, that's something which we can do. What should we do for 21 days? You can do all of these exercises, Sinyat, for those 21 days which I mentioned. You start it and then you give it the affirmation and all. So every day you don't have to sit and write. You do the writing the first day, and then you know what you want to focus on, what you want to achieve. And then after that, you kind of work with it through the affirmations and all the exercises and steps that I mentioned sometime back. Affirmations should be written, Komal is asking, if it has already happened or is it going to happen? as if it has, affirmation should be in the present moment. I am feeling healthy and safe right now. I am abundant. I am protected. I am, so everything in the present moment, not to happen, not happened, in the present moment. Okay. For gratitude, I said you write it as though it's already happened. That gratitude part which I mentioned is that as though it's already happened. So if you're looking for this job, or you're looking to have a baby, or if you're looking, whatever it is that you're looking for, that you're working on, right, passionately, you write this gratitude letter as though it's already happened, and how happy and thankful you are that it's already happened, and put in all the experiences, and as you write it, feel those experiences. The whole idea is feeling it. That's what's important. Okay, I see no more questions, so I hope that has answered whoever has asked me everything. We move on to our final step, which is step 5, wherein we've done everything we have to. Now all we have to do is get ready to receive what we want to receive. Okay, so we're going to do a visualization here. I'm going to help you to kind of visualize what it is that you want to work with. So take a moment and just think of something that you would like to experiment with, and you would like to see it happening in your life in the coming days. Okay, something which you would like to work on which you will make your own affirmations and things like that. Okay, so let's start with that. We will begin by simply breathing. So just close your eyes, make sure that no one disturbs you right now. Close your eyes and take a nice deep breath. Now, as you take your deep breath, you just tune into the present moment. Just tune into exactly where you are in this moment, the room, the chair, everything around you. Just tuning into the present moment. Basically, when we tune into the present moment, we gather all our energy back into this present moment. Okay, wherever it may be, whether I'm thinking what I have to do next, whether I'm thinking where I have to go next, just bringing it all back in this present moment and focusing that awareness onto the breath. So just feeling that breath in and out. And just stay for another moment there, experiencing that breath, feeling that breath. Now in this space, as you have tuned in to your own resources, your mind, your breath, your body, take a moment to bring into your mind space, very consciously, this experience that you would like in your life, whether it is a relationship, whether it is a job and finances, a project, certain experience with relationships, anything, just bring it into your mind. And just now start to look at this experience not only through your eyes, but we're going to experience it through all our senses. Okay, so I want you now to move forward from what it is that you want to believing, telling, allowing yourself to experience that this has already come into your space. It has happened, it is done. Okay, so I want you to see yourself in that experience. What is going on around you? How are the people responding to you around you? Are they happy for you? So just go deeper and deeper into the space where this experience is already happening for you. You are in it right now. It's not something you're looking for. It's happening right now. And as you do that, even if you don't see it, that's fine. Just simply bringing it into your mind will do the job. Okay? Now, as you start to experience it, I want us to engage all our senses one by one to feel it in a most complete way. So if you were to see your manifestation, your desire, what would it look like to you? So just ask yourself this question: what does it look like to me? What am I seeing? What does it represent? What are the people? What are the things? What am I wearing? What are the colors? Associate it with something that you see. If this is my desire and this is my desire that's come true, what does it look like to me right now? And you may be able to experience images if you are very regular with your visualizations or meditation. If you are new on it, that's fine. Just let whatever comes to your mind show up. Even if it doesn't, that's fine. Try and imagine what it would look like. Even if you can't see it, try and imagine what it would look like. What color would represent it? What shape would represent it? It can be anything. You have infinite choices of how this desire looks like. Okay? Now, as you experience that, we slowly engage. If you were to touch this experience, what would it feel like to you? What is the feeling? What is the touch of this experience? What can you associate it with? Does it feel shiny like a crystal or a diamond? Does it feel soft, furry? Does it feel cold? Does it feel hot? Does it feel warm? Just give it a moment to think, what does it feel like to you? Bringing in the touch element. What does my desire feel like to me? And just allowing that to come through. If you could smell this desire, stay with me. If you could smell this desire, what fragrance do you think it would represent? When we think of certain people, their perfumes, when we smell a certain perfume, we think of the people. So there's always association with fragrance and things. So if you could associate a certain fragrance to this desire, what would it be? Maybe the smell of your favorite flower, perfume, a dish cooking. What would it be that you can associate and feel connects with this desire of yours? And give it that association so that it gets linked in your mind. You have linked a certain image. You have linked a certain feeling, touch, texture. And now what would be this smell? What fragrance do you give it? If you could hear this desire, if you could listen to it, if you could interpret its frequency, what sound do you think you can associate with this desire? Sound of bells, sound of wind chimes, your favorite music, the beautiful voice of someone you love, a poem. If you could give it a sound, what would it be? And just give it a moment and create that association. And finally, if you could taste this desire, and this is so powerful, how would this beautiful receiving, this experience, this allowing, taste. What can you associate with it? The taste of something sweet. Whenever we taste certain things, it brings certain experiences to us. When I sip that coffee, it reminds me of certain people, certain experiences, certain cafes. When I eat certain things, it reminds me of certain. So what can you associate with this beautiful desire of yours? And just allow all of these 5 senses to be highly activated, tuned into this desire, and you hold the vision of it. And so every time you want to activate all of your energy on this, you need to bring into your mind and focus these associations and just spend a few moments living this desire. And as you do that repeatedly over and over again, you will allow this manifestation to truly be in your reality at any moment of time. And with this, just slowly rub both your palms together and then gently open your eyes into the present moment, knowing that you can create this for yourself with the power of your mind, your senses. And yeah, that's what we have for today. No more thoughts of how and why and when. All you got to do is just hold on to that intention, hold on to that feeling, engage your senses, bring all your resources to work for you, and then that reality that you're looking for will unfold seamlessly, with ease, without struggle, without effort. And that's the goal. That's what we want. And so that happiness outside, we are already feeling before we manifest in our life. So we will not be running behind things. We will be allowing ourselves to feel that way and then create from that vibration. Right. Okay. Thank you so much, Komal. Thank you, Dr. Jyoti. So glad you were here and you enjoyed it. Any questions, guys? Feel free. Thank you so much, admin, for sharing the link. We also have the link here if you would like to book an online session, if you would like to book a consultation, which is free, to discuss if you would like to do any kind of modalities to work with your subconscious mind, like hypnotherapy, CBT, if you would like sound healing, if you would like chakra cleansing, so on and so forth. So we have a whole lot of options available, and with phase 2 of the circuit breaker, things are more and more getting possible, so we will take care of that as well. Thank you so much, Manisha, for tuning in. Yes, so that's what we have for today, guys, and I look forward to hearing from you. If there is anything else that you are looking for, any more questions, I believe I've answered everything, even what I got on the private chat here. Perfect. Great. All right. Perfect. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you for the next meditation, which happens next week. We will be sharing you with an email with the details for that meditation. Take care, and thank you very, very much for tuning in today.